Good morning, everyone. I just want to take a few moments to do a quick demo of Perusall. So like I mentioned in the earlier module, Perusall, this is a really helpful annotation tool. All semester, whenever we read something, I will always ask you to annotate it. And I always want you to annotate it with Perusall. And that's, it's for a few reasons. Broadly, it's just to make it easier since everything we're reading is already online. It's easier just to annotate it online rather than, printing it, annotating it, scanning it, uploading it. That's a pain. And then the other thing, too, that I like about Perusall is that you can have a conversation with your peers. So your peers can see your annotations, and like I mentioned a moment ago, they can respond to your annotation. So if they think something's, if they have a question about something you've said, then they can ask you that. Or if you have a question and they have the answer, they can answer that. Or if they think something is interesting, they can tell you why. Okay. Be sure when you do provide comments to your peers, and I really would like to see that, keep them short and sweet and really stay away from just the generic, that's interesting, period, because it's really not, when you say that. Rather, just quickly, in a few words, tell your peer, well, what is interesting about it? So say, for instance, here, and I'll get to Perusall in just a second how to use it. I might say, oh, that's interesting. I never thought about how, actually this one's better. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about how down here when Owen, when he's talking about the soldiers as, they're so tired that they're lame and they're blind and they're deaf, that, oh, that's a return to really these old beggars up here. Never thought of that. Cool connection. Okay, it's just something like that, but short and sweet. So now when you open up your, shouldn't say that, but when you open up your, click on this bar, you will come to a page like this. This is this is the Owen poem, though yours will be, Blake or Wordsworth. And really all you do is we're interested mostly in the tools over here on the right. So the notes, this is what we'll use to annotate and to capture our thoughts. When you begin to share or have that dialogue or respond to your peers' annotations, you will be notified by that. So, you have like a little inbox, or if you want to initiate a conversation, or if you want to, I'm putting you in groups of 5, but let's say if you were in a class and they put you, heaven forbid, in like groups of 15, which is nuts, and you don't want to see those, you can just, click on those and they'll go away. Okay, that'll help you with that. And this would help you just kind of track the current conversation. Now, this will help you right up here with your comments. So if you just want to see your comments, or maybe just questions or things that are unread, this is a really cool tool. It's a really cool tool. Okay, so now I want to find something to annotate, okay? And we'll come back down here. I've already done one, but, so if I click on that, let's say one of my peers did one. I want this thing to go away. Okay. So their annotation was, oh, what does children mean? And then they told me, right? So the word children, oops, I'm sorry, that's from a different one. So children, well, if we think about that term of symbol, and the symbol is a symbol in poetry and literature and drama, or even in art, really, is where you use a concrete thing, like a child in this case, to symbolize or to represent an abstract idea. Innocence or naivete. Like, it's hard to, draw me a picture of innocence. No, I can't do that. And so again, some symbols might be an American flag, for instance, and that symbolizes freedom, or the scales, which would symbolize justice, or a dove, which would symbolize, peace, or a red rose, symbolize love, so on and so forth, okay? So now I'm ready for a new annotation. So I would literally just click new. And now let me leave. And so that'll track it, okay? So I've asked you to do 5 notes or 5 annotations per poem, bare minimum, okay? So you should at least have 15. 5 for Blake's song, or the Chimney Sweeper, sorry, from Songs of Innocence. 5 for the Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Experience. And 5 for Wordsworth, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. And so now let me say, Well, let me just do one here. So I might really just highlight that, and I want you to use 2 of these categories, okay? And side note, even if you feel like you're a pro or you know everything there's to know about annotating, annotation is, analysis. It's just like reading and writing. It's never perfected. You can always improve your skills. Okay, so if you're familiar with these categories, that's fantastic. If you're not, that's fantastic too, because we're here to learn. But I want you to, certainly if you feel like you know these things in terms of these strategies, I still want you to take to and approach this as a learning opportunity, because it's always an opportunity to deepen your practice and deepen your understanding. Okay. So I'm just going to ask a question here, really, and you're more than welcome just to take some of this language. No, there's no shame in that game. And I would really just say, what does this mean? And now I want to share this. So I'm going to share this with, you would see your peers here. Okay, I'm going to share this with Andrew Kranzman. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Okay. And so then maybe Andrew, he ends up chiming in, and he's going to answer it. So we're going to start to have a conversation, and he's going to chime in, and he's going to say, oh, that's just an aside. And so the speaker is giving you information about, just extra information about this experience. So when the shell comes down with the mustard gas, and they hear it, and he's like, oh, quick, man, put your gas mask on. They're just fumbling. They're fumbling for their masks, right? So he's kind of just walking us through the experience of fumbling for their masks. And so that's really it, So every time you want to create a new one, you would just click New. Did it do that for me? Yep. You just highlight what you want to highlight. I might highlight this phrase here, and then I might summarize it, what it means. But that's Perusall in a nutshell. So have fun. Can't wait to read your annotations. All right. Thank you, everyone.